It's what each other have on each other, though they can generally make some ideas or have some ideas about what they're going to play. This one having both, and of course, you know, Genji, skirmishes being such a big deal, globals being such a big deal too. I think we'll see a lot of the same in the rise in priority of those heroes.
Let's get into it then. Game at number 4, you could hear the roar of the crowd after Fnatic was able to take a win. Will they continue to keep themselves alive?
Tracer still denied, even with this map being very popular for Abathur and a lot of teams being quite uncomfortable playing against it, but Abathur does slip through the draft, at least to begin with.
Oh, we've seen Fnatic be willing to pick Dahaka this high. Not Method though. Method want to go ahead and get that Genji.
One thing I was going to say, just kind of bringing it back to the map for a moment, is based off of what we've seen in the series so far, it's in Method's best interest to pick any battleground where the win condition is clear and it's easy to snowball out of control. The towers, or Tomb of the Spider Queen, one of the easiest to snowball, hardest to be able to close out. Fnatic somehow almost had a miracle comeback in that type of circumstance, right? Dragonshire is another one where they get a colossal lead, but the win conditions are equally as vague. Towers, the win conditions are there, but the snowball, not so much. So I do think it's going to be better in that sense for Method, that if they get the lead, they'll be able to close this one out. And again, that miracle opportunity might not be there for Fnatic, but going with an Abathur Dahaka, that's a pretty difficult kind of rotation and you know, composition to handle.
Twice on this battleground, Method have first picked a Genji and followed up with Murden and Deckard Cain. But now with a global situation, we may see Nick prioritize having Falstad even higher, but other than that, trying to potentially, you know, they're going to completely change it up. Going for Garrosh here does mean that there might be the possible Murd and Abathur synergy later on, but we'll see if Method takes that away.
I do quite like the Garrosh. It is going to allow them at least a little more zoning on the shrines than maybe Muradin would, especially when Abathur's already on the board, so your rotations that Muradin can offer might be a little less effective. But like you said, it is very scary to maybe have that Abathur-Muradin combo, and I am nervous and wouldn't be even surprised to see Method ban out the Muradin, but Johanna is still always on the board.
Oh, as we have said, not only in the last draft, but between these two teams, that Falstad is something that might come online again with that double global on the other side. I would like to see Method avoid it. I would personally say that I think the Falstad priority for them in the last game might be part of the reason that draft got so hairy. And if they had gone again with the Jaina, that it would be a very, very different tale of what we saw over that last game. Blaze makes a lot of sense to be able to ban that out in this type of circumstance, because Dahaka with a hat means he pretty much dominates any matchup. So the only thing you have to remove in that circumstance is wave clear, because wave clear is the only way to answer into that duo when they end up pairing together.
Method banning out the Jaina, not even picking it for themselves like we were hoping, but instead removing it from the pool. This is reasonable though, due to the fact Fnatic, they are quite good at Jaina, and of course it's a very classic combo. The ultimate evolution on the Jaina, both of them benefit from each other's frostbitten, which can lead you to some incredibly burst-heavy comps.
Who plays Abathur for Fnatic?
Ooh, that
should be Mene, right?
That's an excellent point.
Is this an old school double gray main?
Ooh, bringing it way back.
Quack
That's
Nix?
possible. Double Hanzo could also technically be a thing. Try and just get that consistent poke in, interrupt the alter channel. Muradin, and...
I mean, way back in the day, it used to be double Jaina, but with that ban,
that's why I saw that as a heads-up ban.
Yeah, if it's not double Jaina, double Genji, then yeah, the next thought process there very much
would be potentially gray main.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out here. This is very curious because the priority with the pressure
there it is.
It's going to be the gray main. Good call there, Gilly.
So now just support for Fnatic, but Method, they are now in a position where they can try to react to this. They already have their main tank. They still need the solo laner with Blaze removed. But they're going to be against a very melee-heavy composition.
I'm going to say it again. If Method ends up choosing a squishy that can get one-shot by a double gray main,
no.
you're literally walking into the win condition of your opponent. And I can't help but feel like we have seen that almost twice within the series already. If this Falstad pick comes out, it immediately goes, you're just going to die.
What are your thoughts on potentially something like a Sonya with the physical armor, or a similar solo laner with that kind of protection?
I mean, with the Blaze ban out, Sonya is probably the next go-to in beefiness, other than maybe a Leoric, but this doesn't match not only their composition, but the battleground.
What about... I'm more concerned about who Nick is going to play here. We know that Schwimpy is going to be playing Genji. Is there any world where we see Nick pick Hanzo into that? Yes, he's very squishy, but save your natural agility. Just make sure you're positioned correctly, and when it comes in, but then you're just forcing him out of the fight anyway. I
would prefer that over anything else.
Cassia, Cassia.
We were talking about physical armor, but not in terms of the solo laner here. Instead, the ranged assassin.
Solo support.
And Zeratul, solo support Abathur. Taking a leaf out of Method's book there, our Fnatic.
One of my big questions really here is how does the Abathur Greymane, especially without an extra support, fare in today's current meta? Because it's not that common we see this in today's meta.
The biggest thing is Greymane just doesn't have the same raw team fighting capabilities he used to. He's not poor by any means. He just doesn't have that raw fight. And also, typically when you see the double Greymane, the dive capabilities, we talked about it. That's why I was so focused on if your backline is going to be that squishy, it's the only way to really suffer, because Greymane, double Greymane, again, it's very linear on how they approach it, and the sanctification opportunities is going to be a very good deterrent to make that happen. I feel like that was a nice response of not committing to the squishy like the fall set, but still having the pause button you desire with Sanct.
Other thoughts?
I think the Zeratul certainly adds a little bit of burst that Fnatic do absolutely need in this kind of composition if they're not committing to a support. But I also think I would have really liked to see a support. I think if they could protect the Greymane, maybe they can make a play, but I'm concerned about this.
I'll get your thought in a second, Gilly, because it's time for predictions.
Solo support Abathur thrives with micro skirmishes. And this is a battleground that you can get it once in a while, but I can't help but feel like it's a bit too optimistic to assume that all of them are going to be in that manner, and that's where I think it's going to fall off. I still give it to Method.
Though I am so excited that we have a Tyrael on one side and Zeratul on another, international event. It's coming, guys, it's coming. I gotta go. I love the Tyrael and Cassia pickups from Method, so I'm gonna stick with Method here.
Okay.
I am concerned that they're going to be able to set it off in terms of making any kind of Void Prism play. I'm also going for Method because I think the Cassia we were concerned about the squishiness of the backline, and that really alleviates the concerns in my mind.
All right, and I'm going to go for Method as well, because from Fnatic, it's a bold play, Cotton. And it might not work, but it might. Who knows here as they go into it. If anybody can make it work, it's some of our European teams. 42 to 58%. A lot of the people in Twitch chat with the hashtags are going to be siding with Fnatic. And we shall head over to our commentator team as well, who are going to bring us this next match. What do you guys think about our solo Abathur?
Spicy draft. Can't go wrong, right? I mean, if you're going to go out now,
I think our crowd is slightly biased.
Slightly.
Just slightly. It was really loud when that victory went down, so I'm hoping to hear some more of that again.
As are we. Now let's get ready for game number 4, Towers of Doom. Fnatic putting their lifeline on a solo support Abathur, Caldor.
I'm excited for it. This is definitely going to be a great one. I was hoping for 5 games, but the quality of the matches that we already got was crazy. Starting things off here in game number 4 on Towers of Doom towards the left side. Once again, Shrimpy on Genji, Arcana on Garrosh, of course. We have Malfurion played by Curson, Tyrande by Ethereal Angel. That's not quite right. And Nick on Cassia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Method.
Hanging on this tournament. On the right side, Bad Benny playing Dehaka, Smexy on Abathur, Breeze on Murden, Quatnix on Greymane, Mana on Zeratul. It's Fnatic.
I think we have someone in production that really wants Tyrande to be played in the tournament.
I mean, I'm down with that too. I've been asking for it. I wanted Mana in particular to play it, but hey, you know what? I'll take a Ethereal Angel playing some Tyrael.
Yeah, I'll definitely take that too, going full old school here. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. So we have a couple, this is actually really interesting because when you look at the Abathur composition, of course, starting us off with a Carapace build, since we have Abathur as that solo support, so to say, we have a lot of great targets, not only for a copy, but also for a symbiote. You look towards Zeratul, and he tries to sneak in, get the kill. Murden later on is really benefiting from the level 13 talent, Soma Transference, and so does a Dehaka or a Greymane. So we have actually an arsenal on the side of Fnatic where they can try and get for these aggressive kills, but at this point it's actually Arcana going for the kill, and he's gonna get Mana here.
Mana in trouble, gets picked off immediately. An aggressive push from Fnatic on the top lane, looking to try and grab a turret, but Method predicting that set up pretty darn well to stop that. And with that, they were able to grab an experience lead. Look at this, jumping up 2 3/4 of experience as Fnatic is trying to stay with them.
Yeah, Breeze is going to get a lot of that experience back on the bot lane. But let's talk quickly about what Fnatic has to do here. If you're playing a composition that relies that heavily on Abathur and you're also banking a lot of your hopes into a Dehaka, into a global, going through their top lane, mobility is your friend. You have Zeratul sneaking around on the battleground. You can always jump with a symbiote on his head to offset any kind of match that you have, and then you have a global on top of that too. So Fnatic is really in a spot where they don't want any sustained and long fights. They want to rotate on a lane, they want to collapse on a target, take it down, and then just simply move back. So that has to be the name of the game in the early game at least.
I'm looking at Breeze here because I feel like a lot of the success that will happen here for Zeratul and Greymane is all coming down to Breeze and his ability to anchor, but also keep an eye on where Cassia, Malfurion, and the main 3 unit is currently at. If they know they're on the opposite side of the map, that's where you can see Greymane, Dehaka, or even Zeratul moving in to try and force a fight and get the sustain. So Breeze is constantly moving up, making sure not to get caught out, but also to always keep an eye on his opponent.
Yeah, while Breeze is anchoring the bot lane here and keeping an eye on the 3 heroes that we just see, we have an immediate push at the top lane. And one of the cool things, if you have Quacknix on a Greymane, is that Greymane has such an absolute power spike against structures in general. He can chunk them down. And if you snipe a turret or two, that really gains you a lot of experience. And we can see now that Fnatic is starting to take the lead in experience, just by the smallest of margins, but they have started to offset that balance.
They are really keeping an eye on this top lane too, with them already moving into sappers. They would love to grab this turret to keep jumping up in experience, but also to expose that fort. Eventually you'll get to a point where Abther, if he needs to, can rotate up there, keep his Locust pushing out a little bit, and slowly whittle it down until you get to a point where Greymane moves forward and tries to clear it out, or even Dehaka by himself. So Fnatic setting up well for that later on, but now it's the 3 altar phase. Immediately, Abther burrows in, grabs the ult at the top right corner, and the rest of Fnatic comes down to the bottom to skirmish around Nick.
And already setting this up, trying to go maybe even for a Dragonic kill. They might get it, but no, once again, Arcana with a save. Or Nick is still low, but he survives for now. Breeze has to jump out, but then again is Arcana and the power that he brings to this team.
Breeze being chased down, but the heal comes in at the last second, keeping him alive. His jump will be up in a couple of seconds. Can he buy some time? Drops a Stormbolt, gets tossed and jumps away, but Ethereal is able to chase with the help of Schwimpy, and that's going to be a kill.
And that was once again set up by Arcana. Twice. First of all, he denies the kill against Nick, and then he throws Breeze out into a space where he can't hop over debris and get away. So the only escape path for Breeze was towards the gate, and that was where immediately Schwimpy on Genji just locked him down. We saw also Tyrael coming in. So great coordination here from Method as they secure the 2nd kill of the game.
Fnatic does a good job, though, of mitigating their losses, only losing out on Breeze. They put some pressure on the top lane as Schwimpy is going to take some damage as Mene moves on in. Has to be careful, though, because Ethereal bites back with a smite or two. Quacknix continuing to push that lane. Dehaka's already working on sappers, while Murden goes for the big scout here on the bottom left. Again, trying to focus on these small skirmishes, trying to make sure where exactly Method is so Fnatic can make sure they're not caught out of position.
Yeah, and Benny will still need a bit more time here, so there's a chance for Method to eventually go for the invade, but Breeze is now anchoring the brush here. It's super important that Fnatic just makes these fights quick. Snappy, quick, go in, try and get a kill, because in any kind of sustain setup, Method is going to have the advantage through the shields of Tyrael and Malfurion heals.
And Schwimpy is willing to punish too. Every time any target from Fnatic has lingered a little bit too long, he jumps on Swift Strike, drops the Shurikens, and makes sure that he does a solid amount of damage to his opponent. Now with 2 ultras spawning in the top left and the top right, we'll see if we'll go for that typical 1v1 trade, but I'm actually keeping an eye on Dehaka, who's rotating the top lane, wondering whether or not he's going to try and force a fight. Actually, Breeze forcing a fight down here on the bottom, and they go straight for Curson.
They go for Curson, and they're about to get him, but nobody goes for the last hit. The drag comes through, though, and they finally secure it, but can Breeze get out? Cassia with a blind attempt, and we have Genji moving in. The fight not quite over yet, as we still have Schwimpy applying some pressure, but Breeze's trade has kicked in, and now he finally gets his hit points back quickly.
The beauty of a third win. Tyrael at the top right, though, has grabbed the altar. They have stolen away shots from Fnatic, and Schwimpy will be able to grab the top left altar here for Method, meaning that Method continues to be in the lead as they jump up and score 36-24.
Also, a slight adjustment on the side of Schwimpy, who now goes into dodge on level 7 with this Genji build, trying to make sure that he has those dodges available because of all the auto attack damage that comes from Fnatic here, especially on the side of Zeratul and Greymane, of course. Something you have to watch out for. Abathur himself going for Mule, trying to give him a little bit more sustain on these walls in particular, and they have a couple of fantastic tool nodes. They have a double global and they have Mule, so they should be able to really aim for the late game macro play.
That Mule was really needed. We've seen it many times against Abther compositions. If you lose an altar, it's very difficult to take off back. Method scouts out that there is sappers being grabbed here at the top, and Fnatic has to escape, but Arcaner, he is here to catch Mene, trying to go in for the throw. He finds Bad Biddy, potentially Dehaka able to get to the minions and survive.
And that was a massive commitment by Method for a kill that they didn't get. 5 heroes rotating to the top, and in the meantime, Fnatic has started to attack the bot lane. And remember we talked about that Greymane? There he is again in full action, taking the entire wall down with the help of Abathur, while Method has to slowly rotate down and react to it.
And now we're here at level 10. Ultimate Evolution being available for Abathur. It's where he turns online and he can actually start to force some team fights, especially with the help of Void Prison. If you're able to section off half the team and try to focus down a target, that could be a strong tool for Fnatic. But Murden has yet to pick his heroic here. You think he's going to move into Avatar?
I think so, but we have seen a couple of Haymaker plays, but every time that Haymaker came into play, they were trying to isolate a target and then go for the kill. Now, there is, of course, an argument to be made for Breeze engaging, Haymakering someone, and then the Void Prism capturing the rest. It's a bit reminiscent of the real old-school Stitches and Zeratul composition, where a hook was started, and then the Void Prism caught the rest, so they could try and make that play, but Avatar is more likely, and he actually goes for it, so he goes for the sustain here.
On the root, just a little bit too late. Breeze able to jump away, can wait on third win. Mana comes in and puts some pressure on Curson. Curson hits the Twilight Dream on top of Dahaka, but it's not enough as Curson will fall. The big VP in the back right corner. Arcaner even using the taunt, but he hits nobody. And immediately Genji gets picked off as well.
Counter kill attempt here, but the copy goes down and that's all. And immediately Abathur's helping out Breeze, but he's a bit low. He gets the cooldown though and jumps away. But what a fantastic Void Prison here by Zeratul. Catching 3 players as they go for the kill, and now Fnatic can fight for the altar. They're zoning Method out. Method has to retreat in this case. And Fnatic is also picking up a pretty fair amount of experience now, looking at a level lead.
You gotta love the patience there from Fnatic. After they get the kills, they allow Breeze the time to have their win proc in, that way they can have full health, and then they can move up and zone out that altar instead of going a little bit too early and allowing Method to have the chance for 2 members to respawn and come fight over the altar. Fnatic now in a position here where they have knocked Method down to 32 shots on their core and immediately move over towards Zappers.
Now they themselves, of course, are only looking at 24 hit points on their own core. So Method is still ahead when it comes to the objective of the game. But Fnatic have now taken that lead in experience, and they've actually taken quite a bit of map control by taking these towers down. So that's a slight advantage for them with the map presence. And of course, the globals that we're seeing for Fnatic are just emphasizing that a bit more.
Top lane.
Yeah, those are immediately used to try and get the top camp. Ethereal dodging as Quacknix is trying to go for him, but Benny and Quack can now go for an easy Zappa camp.
Looking to put some pressure on top of this fort. Remember, they opened this up earlier, so finally they'll get some damage there. They bring all 4 up and even use a clone as well. They want this fort. Genji is rotating over, and so is the rest of Method, but it's going to be too late as that bell tower is grabbed by Fnatic. Now, can they get out?
Yeah, they need to get out somehow, and Arcana is already looking for Greyman. The isolation, though.
Taunt.
Great move. The taunt comes through. We are seeing still an attack for Shrimpy, and he goes down as Mina confirms the kill. Zeratul with the Void Prison. It's not over. They're going for the next kill. What's happening? Fnatic taking their bell tower, taking the kills. Cassia falls. They're jumping on Arcana. Fnatic in full beast mode.
Arcana, the only one left here in the back right, but he gets picked off as well, and that's going to be 3. Curson able to get away on the Malfurion as well as Tyrael, but the altars have just now spawned. Let's watch that fight one more time. Arcaner gets dismounted by Quacknix, is able to kite away bad. Benny gets hit with a taunt, but look at Min in the back left. He goes straight for Schwimpy. He is able to secure that kill and then hit the money VP.
Unbelievable. Min with a quick kill against Genji, and then they go straight for Nick. Cassia falls. The Void Prison once again close to perfect. We see the bell tower taken too, the double altar secured, and all of a sudden Fnatic not only ahead in experience, but also ahead on the objective. 22 points against 24. I personally thought that already committing to the clone for the bell tower was just a fantastic decision, but then winning the team fight afterwards was, of course, it was just like, it was a cherry on top of the cake.
Fnatic want to take this altar, and Method believes if they lose this altar, it's going to be lights out for them, so they are defending the best they can, but Sappers come on through, and that's going to be a total of 6 bell towers going over to Fnatic, and they can work on a 7th. Dahaka already in the middle lane working on it, as the rest of Fnatic is trying to dissuade Method from taking back the spell tower.
Fnatic is currently just slapping Method around in this game, and Method is looking for that one engage that brings them back, but the middle already attacks here. Once again, the copy being used together with Quacknix to go through the wall and put the first few damage points onto the bell tower. And Method, they are down to 2. This is the only one they still hold. If Fnatic takes it down, then they start the barrage. And look at the experience, they're nearly on level 16 now.
This is starting to become a very desperate situation for Method, with 3 altars about to spawn pretty soon, a boss being available as well. Fnatic has all the world to them, and the Oyster is available for their own pickings. Fnatic thinking about holding down this bottom lane, but Breeze starts to kite away while Fnatic spends the time grabbing Sappers.
Exactly, they take the one at the bot lane and at the top, so that's pressuring Method even more. We talked at the beginning of the game how Fnatic needs to make rotations happen, how they need to try and get kills. And they not only do that against heroes, they make quick health happen against structures as well. Shrimpy attacked again. And look, they're just having a couple of heroes here. The drag comes on against Tyrael. Can they confirm that kill too? Ethereal moves away, but we have the Sappers going through the top lane in the meantime.
They don't even have to confirm the kill. They're at least win the trades here with the constant poke happening here. Method starting to go ahead and tap their wells here, so they'll be able to get nice and healed on up. But the ultra's being grabbed. Abathur in the bottom. Murden delaying the top left. Zeratul grabbing the top right.
They're everywhere.
That's going to be 10 shots coming in.
They're everywhere, and that's another 10 fired, as you said, and they are putting Method now down to 9 points on the core. This is just crazy.
Look at the bottom left.
Is everywhere. They've taken the lead in experience. They're rotating from lane to lane. They're copying Greymane, go for structure, sniper hero, sniper structure. They're putting so much aggression onto Method that Method just simply can't withstand the pressure plays.
Quack needs to retreat here. He tries to go on top of Schwimpy, takes him out, but he has the hat. VP comes in from Mane. Fnatic is here to save his teammates. Breeze going in for the Stormbolt, but Schwimpy able to dodge out on him.
Arcana once again looking for the toss. He's looking for Breeze and he gets it. Tosses him in, but Muradin, he's too tanky. He's not gonna fall. That drag connects on Tyrael again. But look at Curse in that backline. Just barely saved through him popping the ice block.
Mane able to take the altar, and now he's just trying to survive. Can he get away from here? Able to stealth for now, but the big Twilight Dream comes out, and he runs to the kill zone. He's trying to blink over, but it's not gonna be enough. As he's thrown into the kill zone, Zeratul falls.
But is that kill enough? Is that enough for Method to really turn it around? They have lost so many of their bell towers. They're now trying to reclaim the bot lane. That's what Mane died for. But the rotation to the top is starting. Vision is of course granted. Method is just saying, guys, we can sacrifice the boss, but we need to take back that map control. Once we have control over our bell towers again, we can try and make a comeback happen. But they sacrifice another 4 points on their core to get into that position.
And Benny comes to the top left, and he'll protect this altar here. And it looks like if they can keep his bell tower alive, that's 5 shots. That's game over. Fnatic has a chance to earn a win and go to a game number 5.
Exactly. Method, on the other hand, has reached 16, so they can fight on even talents. The entire last few minutes, Fnatic had always a talent advantage over their opponent. 21 points on Fnatic's core, 5 for Method. And we have altar spawning. A single altar in just 5 seconds.
Sappers grabbed here. Method wants some pressure on this bottom lane, attempting to try and keep Fnatic on the back foot.
Fnatic on the rotation down to the bottom.
Dahaka grabbing the Sappers in the top lane. They want to make sure that they have the 3 points available to try and put pressure on Method.
Yeah, we have Genji actually starting to rotate up top. Once Fnatic sees that, they're going to make that happen, and they're starting to move in. I'm not sure if Method can really delay this for too long. At some point, Fnatic is going to hit 20.
They will hit 20. It's a couple levels away, but Breeze starts to grab the channel. Thero should be able to dissuade them. We'll make them back up, but the Holy Ground comes out.
Dahaka is taking the camp at the top lane in the meantime.
Greymane in the middle, dancing around. It looks like Fnatic is just going to give up this point and not try to fight over it. They want to make sure that they don't fight on even talents. They want to have these Sappers push it instead.
And that's why Genji has had it. And immediately Greymane is there, trying to push it back, trying to make sure that they're at least putting some points off. Dahaka is there now too.
1, 2, 3.
All 3 are hitting. 2 points on the core for Method. Fnatic was willing to give up the altar just to make sure that they're putting Method onto 2 points on the core. Boss can end the game. Another camp can do the same. And of course, if you get another altar, it's just lights out for Method.
What I love is that the mule's being used in the top left corner to keep that altar alive. There's no way that bell tower is going to be taken down in any way. The Sappers, when they do spawn, can be the priority for Fnatic. They're just going to wait out the game.
And right now, there is just so much macro play available for Fnatic. They have Dahaka, they have Abathur, and they're using them to their fullest potential right now. They don't even have to team fight. They're playing around Method. That's the reason why Method is now pushing the envelope. They know that they have to do something. They're running out of time. 20 is just a level away for Fnatic.
Method grabbing this bottom right altar. That doesn't matter, though, for Fnatic. Remember, both are going to be the top left and the top right, but look in the middle. Zeratul and Greymane take away an altar from Method as well.
And Fnatic is just happy to trade. And just look at all these toxicness. Look at Breeze's positioning. He doesn't contribute anything to that race when they're trying to take down a bell tower. So he anchors the team. He makes sure that he sees any attack coming, and they put down the toxicness to give them an early warning system as well. So once again, a quick rotation, and it works in Fnatic's favor because that experience brings them closer to 20.
Method may have to force this fight. They're getting desperate here. Fnatic knows that they're playing around them. Look at the minimap, spread out as well as they can be. They can push in for a fight at any point. I'm going to watch for a minute here to get that Void Prism.
It's a trap. At this point, Method is hoping that they can kill one target. It's a double altar. Fnatic was down 0-2 in the series. Then they came back on the third map, and now they could tie it, but they know that something's happening here. Arcana is looking for that swap. Already Ethereal in position. To the left side, Mane comes in. Benny is already rotating over. The Void Prism, they're sneaking it! They're sneaking the bell tower! No, they
Over the lane!
Curson is interrupting it, and that might be all that Method needs for now.
Gerson goes for the Twilight Dream, but he will hit it, but they trade out a kill. There's going to be the pickoff at the same time. Benny coming around here. He has the Dragon Fable. Mane low on health, trying to escape, but the Chain Lightning will hit him.
Mane goes down, but Benny goes in once again. They're trying to hit the targets here. Level 20 is already in their hands. They have the Storm Talents.
Top
to the
right.
right side, the fight. Tyrael goes down. Greymane has eliminated him, and that leaves him in a fantastic spot. But the Tyrael trade, the explosion, takes down Greymane.
Schwimpy trying to buy some time, using mobility to scud around. Hat comes out, but he dodges out on the Stormbolt. Dahaka still in the top left corner, trying to get healed up by Abathur.
Abathur is helping out here the entire time. They're trying to delay it. They're simply trying to delay it here. The level 20 is such a huge asset at this point. Arcana once again erupted. Look at Schwimpy. He's low. He's incredibly
Here comes
low.
Dick. Nick's coming up here in the middle. He's going to be able to hop up the fight. Arcana still trying to buy time, but he's pretty darn tanky.
They're trying to get the kill. They're just trying to get the kill. They don't
Schwimpy
care
gets
about
one.
Schwimpy anymore. And they get the kill. They get it. Do they? They get it. Cassia is down. Abathur takes it down. The jump comes. And that's the double kill. Garrosh is down. And Fnatic, from an 0-2, they take 2 wins in a row. They take the game with a fantastic macro game on Towers of Doom. And they will bring Method to game number 5.
It doesn't matter what team you're a fan